Aisha's hands moved with practiced ease, threading delicate beads onto a silver wire. The workshop buzzed with the rhythmic clatter of tools, but she found solace in her craft. She had been working here for 5 years, long enough to know every corner of the place, long enough to notice when something felt off. Lately, things had changed. Mr. Zuffer, the workshop owner, had started singling her out. At first, it was subtle, extra compliments on her work, casual conversations that stretched too long. But then came the requests. "Stay after hours," he had said last week. "Help me with something important." She had declined, offering the excuse of dinner waiting at home. His smile had been tight, his eyes lingering too long. Aisha sighed, adjusting her scarf. Rizwan, her husband, had grown distant. Their evenings, once filled with quiet laughter, had turned into silence. He often came home late, distracted, his phone never far from his hand. When she asked, he brushed it off. "Work's been stressful," he would say, pressing a quick kiss to her forehead before turning away. She wanted to believe him. But doubt had a way of creeping in, settling like dust in the corners of her heart. "Lost in thought again?" A teasing voice pulled her back. It was Sana, a fellow worker, nudging her with an elbow. "Thinking about Rizwan?" Aisha forced a smile. "Just tired." Sana gave her a knowing look but didn't press. "Well, heads up. Mr. Zuffer's coming this way." Aisha straightened just as he stopped beside her table. "Aisha," he said smoothly, "I have a special task for you." The room grew quieter. Eyes flickered toward them before darting away. Aisha kept her tone even. "What is it?" Mr. Zuffer smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "It's an important job. Need someone trustworthy." He paused, letting the weight of the words settle. "Stay after work today. We'll discuss it privately." The air felt thick. Aisha's pulse quickened. "I can't," she said firmly. "I have to be home." His expression darkened, just for a second. Then, the smile returned. "Think it over," he said lightly, turning away. Aisha exhaled slowly. The looks from her coworkers were unreadable, some sympathetic, others wary. She returned to her work, but her fingers trembled slightly as she threaded the next bead. Outside, the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in hues of orange and crimson. Aisha stole a glance at her phone. No messages from Rizwan. She had the sinking feeling that both at work and at home, something was unraveling, and she wasn't sure how much longer she could hold it all together. Aisha lingered at her workstation, her mind clouded with unease. The workshop had emptied, the once familiar space now eerily silent. Mr. Zuffer's office door remained ajar, a thin strip of yellow light spilling onto the floor. She had no intention of stepping inside, yet the weight of his earlier request pressed against her chest. Her instincts screamed no, but she had to hear him out, if only to shut this down for good. Summoning her resolve, she stepped inside. Mr. Zuffer reclined behind his desk, fingers tapping idly against a stack of documents. He smiled when he saw her. "I knew you'd come," he said smoothly, gesturing for her to sit. "I won't stay long," Aisha replied, standing firm. "What's this about?" He slid a file toward her. "It's simple. I need your help adjusting some records, just a few minor corrections in our financial logs." Aisha stiffened. She wasn't naive. This wasn't a request. It was a trap. "You want me to falsify records," she said, her voice steady despite the chill crawling up her spine. Mr. Zuffer exhaled, feigning exasperation. "Such an ugly word, Aisha." "It's just tidying things up." His gaze darkened. "You're a smart woman. You know refusing me isn't in your best interest." Anger flared in her chest. "I won't do it." His smile faltered. "Think carefully. You wouldn't want to." A notification buzzed from her phone. Aisha instinctively glanced down. A message from an unknown number. She hesitated before opening it. Her breath caught in her throat. A photo. Rizwan. Seated at a cafe. His hand intertwined with another woman's. For a moment, the air seemed to thin, the walls closing in around her. Something wrong? Mr. Zephyr's voice pulled her back, his curiosity barely concealed. Aisha swallowed hard, shoving her phone into her pocket. This meeting is over, she said sharply, turning on her heel. Be careful, Aisha, he called after her. Loyalty goes both ways. If you won't help me, don't expect help when you need it. She stormed out, her vision blurring with unshed tears. The betrayal clawed at her insides, not just from Mr. Zephyr, but from the man she trusted most. Outside, the night air was sharp against her burning skin. She clenched her fists, her entire world tilting beneath her feet. She had just lost her job. And now, she was losing her marriage. But if they thought she would crumble, they were wrong. Aisha walked through the dimly lit streets, her heartbeat drumming in her ears. The cold air did little to cool the fire raging inside her. Rizwan. His name echoed in her mind, tangled with the image of his hand resting intimately over another woman's. She should have confronted him immediately. Demanded answers. But right now, she needed clarity, not excuses. By the time she reached home, the apartment was dark except for the faint glow of the television. Rizwan sat on the couch, scrolling through his phone, his expression unreadable. So normal. So unaffected. You're home late, he said without looking up. Aisha's fingers curled into fists. I was fired today. That got his attention. He glanced at her, eyebrows knitting together. What? Why? She hesitated. Not because she wanted to protect Mr. Zephyr, but because, in this moment, she wanted to see how much Rizwan still cared. Would he be angry for her? Would he comfort her? Would he ask the right questions? But instead, he sighed and rubbed his temples. Aisha, you should have just done what they asked. We can't afford to lose your income right now. Her breath caught. So that's it? That's all you have to say? He shrugged. What do you want me to say? I'm tired, Aisha. Work has been exhausting. Liar. Her hand trembled as she pulled out her phone and tossed it onto the table. The photo, that damning, unforgivable photo, flashed on the screen. Rizwan paled. Explain this, she said, her voice dangerously calm. A heavy silence settled between them. He picked up the phone, staring at the image as if willing it to disappear. Then, the worst thing happened. He smirked. Aisha, you're being dramatic, he said, leaning back. You don't even know the full story. Her stomach churned. Then tell me. Who is she? Just a friend. She scoffed. A friend? Holding your hand like that? You don't understand, he muttered, avoiding her gaze. Then make me understand, she snapped. His silence was louder than any confession. The betrayal was real. Aisha felt something inside her break. Not just sadness, not just anger, but a finality. A realization that the man she had built her life around wasn't the same one sitting before her now. She took a deep breath and straightened her shoulders. Pack your things, Rizwan. His head snapped up. What? You heard me. Get out. He scoffed, shaking his head. You're being ridiculous. No, I've been blind. But not anymore. She turned away, her decision final. The tears would come later. The heartbreak could wait because tonight, Aisha wasn't just a woman betrayed, she was a woman taking back her power. Rizwan's duffel bag landed on the floor with a dull thud. He stood in the doorway, arms crossed, his arrogance still intact. You're really doing this? Aisha folded her arms. You did this, Rizwan. He scoffed. You'll regret this. No one leaves their husband over one misunderstanding. She met his gaze, unflinching. No one betrays their wife and expects to stay. For a moment, he simply stared at her, as if seeing her for the first time, not the quiet, obedient wife he once controlled, but the woman who had just shattered his illusion of power. You were nothing without me, he muttered, shaking his head. Aisha let out a short, humorless laugh. And yet, here you are, the one leaving. His jaw clenched, but he grabbed his bag and stormed out, slamming the door behind him. The silence that followed wasn't lonely. It was liberating. For the first time in years, Aisha breathed freely. She glanced at the framed wedding photo on the shelf, two people smiling, full of promises that had long since been broken. With steady hands, she took it down, opened the back, and slid the photo out. Then, she ripped it in half. It wasn't sadness that settled in her chest. It was peace. The next morning, the sun streamed through the curtains, golden and warm. Aisha stretched, savoring the quiet. No tension. No lies. Just her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Miss Aisha, I heard what happened at the workshop. You deserve better. If you're open to it, I have a job opportunity for you. Let's meet. Aisha smiled. For the first time in a long time, her story was hers to write.